Dr. Emily Carter here, and I'm about to tell you something that's going to sound absolutely crazy. There's a bean, a regular bean that you can buy at any grocery store for pocket change that might actually build muscle better than expensive protein powder, and almost nobody knows about it. Now, before you think I've lost my mind, let me explain. I'm not saying beans are magic. I'm not saying you should throw away all your protein powder, but there's one specific type of bean that has a unique combination of nutrients that creates an optimal environment for muscle growth in a way that isolated protein powders simply cannot match. That bean is the humble soybean. And before you groan or click away because you've heard negative things about soy, I need you to hear me out. Because the science on soy for muscle building is actually remarkable. And most of what you've heard about soy being bad for you is either outdated or flat out wrong. Let me start with the basics. Soybeans are unique among plant foods. They're one of the only plant sources that provides complete protein with all 9 essential amino acids in ratios similar to animal protein. A cup of cooked soybeans contains about 30 grams of protein. That's more than a chicken breast, more than 3 eggs, and it comes with fiber, vitamins, minerals, and compounds that actually enhance muscle building. But here's where it gets interesting. Soybeans contain something called isoflavones. These are plant compounds that have mild estrogenic activity in the body. Now, this is where all the fear about soy comes from. People hear estrogenic and panic thinking soy will feminize men or cause hormonal problems. The reality is completely different. The isoflavone and soy are selective estrogen receptor modulators. That means they act like estrogen in some tissues and block estrogen in others. In muscle tissue, research shows they might actually enhance protein synthesis and muscle growth. They don't lower testosterone in men. They don't cause hormone problems in women. These fears are based on misinterpreted animal studies that use doses of isolated isoflavones far beyond what any human would consume from food. Multiple studies on men consuming soy protein show no changes in testosterone levels, no changes in estrogen levels, and no effects on male characteristics. The American Heart Association, the American Institute for Cancer Research, and numerous other health organizations all agree that soy foods are safe and beneficial for both men and women. Now let's talk about why soy might actually be better than protein powder for muscle building. First, soy protein is absorbed and used by your body just as effectively as whey protein. Multiple studies comparing soy and whey for muscle building show equivalent results. When matched for total protein intake, people gain the same amount of muscle whether using soy or whey, but soy has advantages that whey doesn't. The isoflavones in soy have anti-inflammatory effects. After you exercise, inflammation in your muscles is part of the damage and repair cycle. But excessive inflammation can slow recovery. The isoflavones help moderate this inflammation, potentially speeding up recovery time. Soy contains saponins, another class of compounds that have been shown to support immune function and might enhance protein synthesis. These are unique to soybeans and don't exist in protein powder. Soy is rich in branched-chain amino acids, particularly leucine, which is the trigger for muscle protein synthesis. The leucine content of soy protein is actually quite high, nearly matching whey protein. This means soy effectively signals your muscles to start building new protein. Here's another critical factor. Soy comes with fiber. Protein powder doesn't. That fiber supports gut health, which is increasingly recognized as crucial for overall health and even muscle building. Your gut bacteria influence inflammation, nutrient absorption, and hormone regulation. A healthy gut supports muscle growth. The fiber in soybeans feeds beneficial bacteria. Soy provides iron, calcium, magnesium, B vitamins, and numerous other micronutrients. Protein powder is just protein, maybe with some artificial vitamins added. Soybeans are a whole food package that supports overall health while providing protein. The cost difference is staggering. A bag of dried soybeans costs maybe $2 and provides several servings with 30 grams of protein each, $30 to $50 a month's supply. Soybeans are literally 1/10 the cost for equivalent or better nutrition. Now I know what you're thinking. Soybeans are hard to prepare. They take forever to cook. They taste bland or weird. Let me show you how wrong those assumptions are. First, let's talk about edamame. These are young soybeans still in the pod. You can buy them frozen at any grocery store. Microwave or boil them for 5 minutes. Sprinkle with salt. Eat them like a snack or add them to meals. Each cup of edamame provides about 17 grams of protein. They're delicious, easy, and ready in minutes. Edamame is actually one of the easiest high-protein foods you can prepare. Keep a bag in your freezer. When you need protein, cook some edamame. Faster than cooking chicken, easier than making a protein shake, and tastier than most protein powders. Tofu is made from soybeans. It's been eaten in Asia for thousands of years. A /2 cup of firm tofu contains about 20 grams of protein. Tofu takes on whatever flavor you cook it with, making it incredibly versatile. The key with tofu is preparation. Press the excess water out first. This makes it firmer and helps it absorb flavors better. Cut it into cubes or slices. Marinate it in soy sauce, garlic, ginger, and sesame oil for 30 minutes. Then either fry it until crispy, or bake it in the oven. Crispy tofu has a texture and flavor that most people enjoy, even those who think they don't like tofu. It's not slimy or weird when prepared correctly. It's golden, slightly chewy on the outside, tender inside, and full of flavor. You can add cooked tofu to stir-fries, salads, grain bowls, soups, or eat it as a snack. It's as versatile as chicken, but requires less cooking time and costs less. Tempeh is another soy product that's less known, but absolutely fantastic for muscle building. Tempeh is made from fermented soybeans. The fermentation process makes the protein even more digestible and adds beneficial probiotics. A half cup of tempeh contains about 20 grams of protein. The texture is firm and nutty. The flavor is stronger than tofu, but in a good way. Many people who don't like tofu love tempeh. Slice tempeh thin, marinate it, and pan fry or bake it. It gets crispy and savory. Use it in sandwiches, crumble it into pasta sauce like ground meat. Add it to tacos or just eat it as a high-protein snack. The fermentation in tempeh is a bonus. Fermented foods support gut health. That healthy gut supports nutrient absorption and overall health, which indirectly supports muscle building. Soy milk is liquid soybeans. 1 cup provides about 7 to ng of protein depending on the brand. That's more than almond milk, oat milk, or any other plant milk except pea milk. Use soy milk in smoothies, on cereal, in coffee, or drink it straight. Many brands make high-protein soy milk with added soy protein, bringing it up to 13 or more grams per cup. This matches dairy milk for protein content. Soy yogurt is another option. It provides probiotics plus protein, about 6 to 8 grams per serving, similar to regular yogurt. Use it the same way you'd use dairy yogurt. Now, let's talk about whole cooked soybeans, because these are where you get maximum nutrition for minimum cost. Dried soybeans do take time to cook, but the process is simple. Soak dried soybeans overnight in plenty of water. They'll swell up significantly. In the morning, drain and rinse them. Put them in a pot with fresh water covering them by 2 inches. Bring to a boil, then reduce to a simmer. Cook for 3 to 4 hours until they're completely tender. Yes, that's a long time, but it's hands-off time. You're not actively doing anything for those hours, and you can cook a huge batch at once, then freeze portions for later. Cooked soybeans can be eaten plain with seasoning, added to soups and stews, mashed for spreads, blended into smoothies, or used anywhere you'd use other beans. They're mild and slightly nutty in flavor. A pressure cooker or instant pot makes soybeans much faster. Unsoaked soybeans cook in about 45 minutes under pressure. This is much more practical for regular use. 1 cup of cooked soybeans provides that 30 grams of protein I mentioned, plus tons of fiber, iron, calcium, and other nutrients. For seniors trying to build or maintain muscle, this is an incredibly efficient food. Now let's address the elephant in the room. What about all the warnings about soy? The claims that it causes breast cancer, lowers testosterone, or creates thyroid problems. Let's go through these one by one. Breast cancer. The actual research shows that soy consumption is associated with reduced breast cancer risk, not increased. Asian populations that consume soy regularly have lower breast cancer rates than Western populations that don't. Multiple large studies have found that women who consume soy have better outcomes if they do develop breast cancer. The confusion comes from old studies on isolated isoflavones in rodents. Rodents metabolize isoflavones differently than humans. The doses used were far beyond what humans consume, and isolated isoflavones behave differently than isoflavones in whole soy foods. The research in actual humans is clear. Soy is protective, not harmful. Testosterone in men. Multiple studies, including meta-analyses combining results from dozens of trials, show that soy consumption does not lower testosterone levels in men. It doesn't affect sperm count, sperm quality, or any other marker of male reproductive health. Men can eat soy without worry. Thyroid function. Soy dews contain compounds called goitrogens that can interfere with thyroid function if you're iodine deficient. But if your iodine intake is adequate, which it is for most people eating a varied diet or using iodized salt, soy poses no thyroid risk. People with existing thyroid conditions should discuss soy intake with their doctor. But for healthy people, soy is not a thyroid problem. The scientific consensus is clear. Soy foods are healthy, safe, and beneficial for most people. The myths persist online, but they're not supported by the actual science. Now let's talk about using soy strategically for muscle building. The key is consistency and adequate total protein intake. Soy foods can be your primary protein source or part of a varied protein intake. Either approach works. For maximum muscle building, you want about 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal. 1 cup of edamame plus a serving of quinoa hits that target. A tofu stir-fry with brown rice does too. A smoothie with soy milk, soy protein powder, and fruit provides that amount. Spreading protein throughout the day matters more than the source. Have soy protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This keeps muscle protein synthesis elevated throughout the day, which is crucial for older adults dealing with age-related muscle resistance. Soy protein powder exists and is a legitimate option if you want the convenience of powder with the benefits of soy. Soy protein isolate is over 90% protein, making it comparable to whey isolate. Mix it into smoothies, oatmeal, or even baked goods. Soy protein powder costs less than whey in most cases. 5-pound bag costs $25 to $35 and lasts months. The amino acid profile is complete. The digestibility is excellent. For people who are lactose intolerant or prefer plant-based options, soy protein powder is ideal. But whole food soy sources like edamame, tofu, and tempeh are even better because they provide nutrients beyond just protein. Use powder for convenience when needed, but emphasize whole soy foods when possible. Let me give you some specific meal ideas using soy for muscle building. For breakfast, make a smoothie with soy milk, soy protein powder, banana, spinach, and nut butter. This provides over 30 grams of protein in a delicious drink. Or make a tofu scramble. Crumble firm tofu and cook it with vegetables and spices like you would scrambled eggs. Season with turmeric for color, nutritional yeast for a cheesy flavor, and whatever vegetables you like. High protein, filling, and tasty. For lunch, make a grain bowl with edamame, brown rice, roasted vegetables, and a tahini dressing. The combination of soy protein and grain protein provides all amino acids in great ratios. A tofu banh sandwich is incredible. Marinated baked tofu on a baguette with pickled vegetables, cilantro, and sriracha mayo. High protein, full of flavor, and satisfying. For dinner, tempeh tacos are fantastic. Crumble tempeh and cook it with taco seasoning. Use it like ground beef and tacos with all your favorite toppings. Each serving provides substantial protein. Miso soup with tofu is a traditional Japanese dish that's simple and nutritious. Miso paste is fermented soybeans, so you're getting double soy benefits. Add cubes of tofu, some seaweed, and green onions. Light but protein-rich. Stir-fried tofu or tempeh with vegetables over rice or noodles is a reliable dinner. The protein from soy, combined with whatever vegetables you like, creates a balanced muscle-building meal. For snacks, roasted edamame or roasted soy nuts are crunchy, salty, and high in protein, much healthier than chips and actually support your muscle-building goals. Now let's address preparation concerns because this stops many people from eating soy regularly. Tofu seems intimidating if you've never cooked it. Here's the foolproof method. Buy extra firm tofu. Drain the package, wrap the tofu block in a clean kitchen towel, put something heavy on top like a cast iron skillet. Let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes. This presses out excess water. Cut the pressed tofu into cubes or slabs. Toss with a little oil and your choice of seasonings. Spread on a baking sheet. Bake at 400 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes, flipping halfway through. The result is crispy on the outside, tender inside, and packed with protein. This baked tofu can be eaten as is, added to dishes, or stored in the fridge for quick protein throughout the week. Tempeh is even easier. It's already firm. Just slice it, season it, and cook it. Pan frying for a few minutes per side until golden is usually all it needs. Edamame is literally just boil or microwave for 5 minutes. There's no excuse for not eating edamame. It's easier than almost any other protein preparation. Let's discuss combining soy with other proteins for people who want variety. There's no reason to eat only soy. Combine it with eggs, fish, chicken, or other proteins throughout the week. The diversity provides a broader range of nutrients, but making soy a regular part of your protein rotation gives you the unique benefits of isoflavones, saponins, and other soy compounds that support health beyond just protein content. For vegetarians and vegans, soy is especially valuable because it's one of the few plant proteins that's truly complete and has a high concentration of leucine. Other plant proteins are fine, but require more strategic combining to ensure adequate amino acid intake. Soy simplifies this. Now let's talk about the environmental and ethical angle briefly. Soy production requires far less land, water, and resources than animal protein production. If sustainability matters to you, eating more soy and less meat reduces your environmental footprint significantly. The concern about soy and deforestation in the Amazon is real, but most soy grown there goes to animal feed, not human food. The soybeans you buy for tofu and edamame are typically grown in the United States or other regions without rainforest destruction. Choosing organic soy ensures you're avoiding genetically modified varieties if that concerns you, though the evidence suggests GMO soy is safe for human consumption. Let me give you a simple weekly plan to incorporate more soy for muscle building. Monday, have a tofu scramble for breakfast. Wednesday, make tempeh tacos for dinner. Friday, snack on edamame in the afternoon. Saturday, add tofu to a stir fry. Just these few additions significantly increase your protein intake from an affordable muscle building source. As you get comfortable with soy, you can increase frequency. The key is not making it complicated. Edamame is easiest, so start there. Once that's routine, try tofu using the simple baking method I described. Then experiment with tempeh when you're ready. Build gradually. For people worried about taste, remember that soy takes on whatever flavors you add. Marinate it in your favorite sauces. Season it with spices you enjoy. Soy itself is quite neutral, which makes it adaptable to any cuisine style. The conclusion is clear. Soybeans provide complete protein that builds muscle as effectively as protein powder, plus fiber, vitamins, minerals, isoflavones, and other beneficial compounds that powder lacks. At a fraction of the cost, and with better overall nutrition, soy foods like edamame, tofu, and tempeh are superior for muscle building in seniors. The myths about soy are outdated and contradicted by current science. Start with simple preparations like steamed edamame, progress to baked tofu, and make soy a regular part of your muscle building nutrition strategy.